Hey y'all, it's your girl Jada J. Now I want to say right off the top, I'm very upset. Uh, with this episode, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch the show, y'all. I don't know if I'm be able. I'm so serious right now. I don't. It depends on. I'm gonna stick around for the finale of this season, and then I have to see. I have to see y'all because I love this show and I'm a huge Tyler Perry fan, but I don't know because literally, we just gonna go in. All right, y'all. So we open up right where we left off last week, which is with Randall and Miss Louise. So of course, she's still like, "You're not going over there," and he's kind of like, "Yes, I am." So and she's like, "You're only doing this out of spite and whatever, and how you gonna be getting mad at Marcy for whatever she's doing, but you out there doing the same thing." So he's like, "No, no, no. What you two fail to understand, I didn't fall in love with Alex on purpose. It just happened." So then the mom is kind of like, "Do you hear yourself right now? Are you serious?" And then he goes, "Well, she went out there in that backyard with that man on purpose to hurt me. I didn't do that to her." Like, as if he really believes this. I'm telling you right off the top, Randall and Eddie have to go today. Today, everybody. I'm over it. So then she tells him, "I didn't want you to be like your father, but this is what you do, a freaking mockery of what happened with me? With me and your father, you gonna do the same thing? Really? Really?" So then she's like, "You want to know how I figured out your father was cheating on me?" And he kind of just stood there in silence. She's like, "Okay, well, I'll tell you." She goes, "I was working one day at the flower shop. A woman came in, she said had on like a dress suit. She comes up to me and says, he has a child. And that her earnings were going to be garnished to pay for that child." She says she looked down at the paperwork and she sees that it's her best friend. And she knew her best friend had a child, but her best friend was telling her, "This is my ex's kid." That was deep, everybody. I was like, I can't, even how she was telling it. So, and then she goes on to say, "You're just like your father in that way." And he's like, "I'm nothing like my father." So we get more like, okay, he hated his father, like from what they're saying to us. And she's just like, "You're right. You're not like your father, but this right here, this stuff right here, this is your father." And she's like, "And even when I found out about your father, and he left me to take care of you and your brother by myself until cancer ate up his body, and he came back and I had to take care of him." And he goes, "Yep, and you still took care of him, Mom." She's like, "Yes, I did." He's like, "You should have left his ASS there to rot." And she's like, "Why? Because I had a broken heart?" And she goes, "In that case, then Marcy could be getting you. You feel me?" So then he's still trying to come through with the freaking, I'm sorry, but I love Alex. I didn't mean to fall in love with her, but I just do. And that's that scene. So then we switch to wait a minute. Okay, no, I want, before we switch, I want to say that he goes, "Funny how you used to say you couldn't even stand Marcy. Like, you couldn't even stand her, and now here y'all are on the same page." And she said, "Yes," she said, "I'm woman enough to admit when I'm wrong." And so he's like, "Oh, you're on her side now?" And she's like, "Yeah." So then we switch to the police station. Claudia is freaking out about the Pete situation. She's over there. She's like this. She's over by the coffee station. Esperanza rolls up on her with, like, we thought it was some tea, which I'm thinking that's what it was. Because she comes up with her, she's got a mug, and she's like, "Here, drink this." And she's like, "I'm good, I don't want no coffee." She goes, "It's not coffee, it's herbs. It'll calm you." She's like, "I can't." She's like, "Girl, drink it." So we see Esperanza being kind of like, so she's trying to comfort her and everything like that. And she just, she's telling her, she's like, "I've been there before. Eddie got shot not too long ago." And, so then she's like, "Well, did y'all find out like who shot him and everything like that?" She's like, "No, we still haven't got that information." And she's like, "Wow, like, you are one of a kind," like pretty much saying like she's a strong woman. You feel me? And So then she just tells Claudia, she goes, you know what, girl, just go ahead and take the day off. You need the day off. You just look like a mess right now. And she's like, girl, I'm good. I need the money. I can't. She's like, and plus, I didn't even know Pete all like that. She's like, well, it's affecting you on a certain level, so I think you should just go ahead, take the day off. And just because she's like, no, girl, I can't. I need the money. So, I mean, it looks like there might be a friendship there. We gonna have to see. But then she goes in to say, she goes, what's funny is I seen Pete the day before this, and he was completely fine. Then he seen Eddie talking to the captain, and he flipped out right there. Then the next day they send in bikes to the south side, which I hear they never send bikes to the south side. So Esperanza, she kind of piecing, and she kind of like, girl, you might want to stop asking questions. You feel me? So she's like, okay. So she kind of takes it like, all right, you know. That's kind of what it looks like. So then Esperanza walks away. So then we switch to the Burger Fast. Fawn is telling her father that he should not have fired Natalie. So he's just like, nah, you was in there with her son and all that. She should have never had her son up in my house with you. Da, 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 da. She's like, Dad, that has nothing to do with Natalie. Me and Joey like each other, so it is what it is. And he's like, well, Joey not coming back to my shop. And so then she's like, okay, well, what about Natalie? She goes, did you hear what I said? He goes, did you hear what I said? She's like, Dad, that don't mean he got to come back in here. Just kind of have Natalie come back. She was like, she goes, you did fire her unjustly. And he's like, what you talking about? So then she goes, you know, there are labor laws. And he's like, girl. And then he walks away. And then it's kind of like, okay, tell me more. So I ain't get the rest of it. She's like, you know, she could sue you because you fired her without good reason. So she's like, what do you say, Dad? We give her job back. And he's like, okay, but under one condition. She goes, oh no, I'm still going to see his son. But backtracking, he goes, I'm going to tell your mother. She goes, she already knows. And matter of fact, she told me that her father didn't like you and even caught y'all doing something in the back of the hardware store that y'all shouldn't have been doing. And he didn't like you even more after that. And he was like, man, her father crazy. We're like, Mr. Kim, come on now. All right. So then when Fawn is leaving, she gets into the car, and then we see Joey's in the back, like, low-key lay down, because she didn't want her father to see him, and I guess he was scared too, because she goes, okay, you can get up now, my dad's in the office. So he's like, okay, like, how did it go in there? She goes, well, he said you ain't coming back, but he will take back your mama. So he's like, okay, cool. Then gonna say, where's my burger? She's like, you ain't tell me you wanted nothing. So it's just like this quick little thing where she's like, I'm gonna take you to a real restaurant. He's like, I can't afford it. And she's like, I got you, don't worry about it. So then as they're pulling off, we see Quan in the cut watching them with some homeboy in the passenger seat. And he's just like, dude, you know, I have everything I need, but what I do need you to do is go ahead and follow them and get me that address, because I know she got the receipts and everything. I know what she got going on. He goes, I know her father's in there right now, and she's, you know, going home. Just like, not going home at that moment, but follow her and see where she live at, so that way I know where to go and get the stuff, which I'm over Quan. I'm telling you, dude, Tyler's going too far with it. Tyler's going too. Some people complain about a show having not enough drama. I'm complaining about this one having too much. Period. I call it. So then we switch back to the police station, and Kelly is coming down there, you know, talking to Esperanza, and she's like, you know, have you seen Lucian? She goes, girl, he out on a call and everything. She's like, yeah, this place is looking kind of deserted. She's like, yeah, the officer down. And she's like, you don't know him, he's a new guy, but yeah, like, this is crazy. So then she goes, okay, but wait a minute, what did you want to see Lucian about? And she goes, well, Natalie ended up telling me that Lucian and her are done, and it turns out they're not getting a house together no more. So Esperanza's like, wait a minute, what? Like, they was doing fine the last time I had checked. So then she's just like, yeah, girl, I know. You know, I just came down here to talk to Lucian because, you know, he's the rational one. And she's like, yeah, girl. And then they're like, Esperanza goes, I hate that I love them together so much. And then Kelly's like, I know, right? And then she like, dang, is any of us happy? And I like that little conversation because it was really like, this is friends talking. So I liked that. And I'm pissed off, y'all. I mean, I'm mad, y'all. I'm mad. Okay. So then we switch to Brad. And he is checking the neighborhood for Alex. So he's going around, he's looking. Then when he's looking and he's calling out her name and everything, it switches to Alex, and it turns out she's like on somebody's porch or something. She's ducked down. She's got the baby in hand, blood, like she's still got blood coming out of her nose. So we're gonna see with that. Okay. And then I want to point out that as Brad is, because I guess he was on the same block. It looked like a completely different block to me. But he's coming back into the house. Rusty's coming out to smoke a cigarette. I just maybe wanted to give you that visual. Okay, so then we switch to the Pete crime scene. And they reveal that Pete took 5 gunshots. No vest. And this is where I was just like, F Eddie, dude. Because y'all know, or those of you who don't, I was rocking with Eddie and Esperanza just because I felt like she was sort of that piece of him that maybe can remind him who he really was, because I'm going with the PTSD angle because that's what makes the most sense, and that's honestly what it looks like. But what they tease for next week, what Julius was telling her, F Eddie. And I've been felt this way, but the whole thing is I was suppressing it because I was like, there could still be that, but I don't at this, and I'm so, oh my gosh, you guys don't even understand. I'm so mad. Tyler is killing, because I'm not gonna have my David and Veronica, it looks like. And then now Eddie and Esperanza, I'm taking them completely off, y'all. I can't, dude. I can't, dude. I'm so mad. Anyway, so Lucian coming up to Steven, which I'm annoyed with Steven also because people are saying, people don't know how to feel about Steven because they're not sure if he's dirty or if he's just being a punk and kind of knows what's going on but is not saying anything, and that's annoying me. Like, what are you here? What's your purpose? I'm over it. All right. Anyway, so Lucian is going up to Steven and telling him, yo, I've been looking into this department and you've had over 16 rookie deaths in the last 5 years. Like, what's going on with that? You feel me? So Steven says to him, he's like, okay, is that a bad thing? And I wanted to punch him because he was so smug about it. That sounds bad. You feel me? So yeah, he's like, is that a bad thing? Lucian goes, yeah, very bad, actually. And so Steven's like, why are you digging into that stuff anyway? He's like, I didn't have to dig at all, actually. I could look right up on the wall and see that. So yeah, and he goes, well, remember, you're not my boss. So you just need to know that. And then walks away. And then we have fake ASS Eddie come up and got the freaking lollipop, and he's smug as well, and is like, he's like, you know these things have bubblegum in the center? It's darn good. You want one? Oh my gosh, I can't. So then Lucian walks away from Eddie like, dude, just, I could blow you away, you feel me? So then Ben, he was talking to like some, I want to guess, internal affairs people, and then Lucian kind of, I'm not Lucian, Steven kind of steps in. He's like, okay, that's enough. You know, you questioned him enough. So then we have him. He's like, okay, let's go, guys. So Steven walks off with them. Then we have Ben. He sees Lucian. So I guess he kind of feels like, okay, I got to approach him. So he approaches Lucian. He's like, man, I don't know what to tell you. Everything just happened so fast. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not as good as you. So he's telling him, he's like, man, we came around the corner. We hit the ground fast. He's like, you hit the ground fast, but you don't got no scratches on your knees. He said, and you said you was over here too, but your bike is over there next. He said, when did you put your bike over there? He's like, I don't know. I just put it there. He's like, okay, you hit the ground fast. You hit it, but you don't got no scratches on your knees. And now you're trying to tell me. So then fake ASS Eddie comes up. And fake Eddie comes up. And so he butts in front of Lucian. And he's like, He's like, and he tells Ben, he goes, you don't got to answer him. Look. He was like, why are you asking so many questions? No, first he was like, ease up on him, dude. It's got to be hard to hit the ground with one hand. Then Lou is kind of looking at him like, you're an idiot. And then he's like, why are you asking so many questions anyways? What are you, internal affairs? So when he's telling him that, Lucian is kind of just looking at him like, dude, just shut up. Like, it was that look for me. And a lot of people are suspecting, and Rel C and I were talking about it, I think, maybe a couple of days ago. He's saying he thinks Lucian's undercover, and a lot of people have been saying it because at this point, because that's what people were saying before, but people were like, that don't really make sense. How would Tyler really connected? Well, we found out last week Lucian been off the force in Virginia for 4 years. So, and he got 200 grand. We about to see what's going on, everybody. We gonna see. So then when Lucian's when he asked Lucian about being a part of internal affairs, he's like, Eddie. No, first he was like, and who do you think you are anyway? He was like, you're just a rookie. Get your ASS in the car. Then I guess Lucian really left without him. So he was like, the next time you leave me at the station, it's going to be your ASS. Get your ASS in the car or something like this. He was like, Eddie, don't forget your vest. And walked on. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Eddie turns around to talk to Ben. He's talking to Ben. He's like, yo, why did you call this in? I told you to make sure the job was done first. This kid is not dead. So he's like, dude, I didn't call it in. He's like, yes, you did. I know you did. So he's like, all right, man. He's like, I thought he was dead, man. I really thought he was dead. He was like, well, if this kid sings, it's going to be your funeral. He's like, he's not, man. He's not. He's like, okay, finish the job. I can't stand him. I can't stand. The Eddie character has to be either, I don't even want to say it because it's just not a cool, I can't with that character. I can't, oh my gosh. Then we switch to Natalie's place, and it shows Joey and Fawn walking up, and we get this conversation with kind of Joey and Fawn as they're going into the apartment. Joey's telling her, he's like, yo, my mom is not going to go for it. He's like, just because you can be persuasive with your dad don't mean my mom is going to listen. Like, it's not going to work on her. It's not. So she's like, okay, well, so Joey goes in first. I guess that was their strategy. And he's like, hey, mama. And she turns, she's like, the first words out your mouth to me should be sorry. And he's like, sorry. So then he goes, your turn. And then she's like, what are you talking about? Then Fawn comes in. And she's like, little girl. She's like, I don't got time for this today. Like, please leave. So, long story short, she tells her, like, my dad fired you unfairly. And he said that he would have you back because he knows he violated labor laws. And he can't do that. So, Natalie's kind of hardballing it. She's like, really? He wants me back, does he? And she's like, yeah, could you be there by tomorrow? And she's like, no, I don't know if I want to come back because I'm tired of I don't want to be fired every time he finds out about the two of you. She's like, that's not going to happen. Trust me. I spoke to my dad and he understands that he can't do that. And she's like, okay. So she goes, can I tell him that you'll be there tomorrow? She's like, no. And then Joey's like, Mom, come on. And she's like, what? And then she's just like, tell him I'll be there the day after tomorrow. She's like, I don't want him to think I'm going to just run to him when he calling me. So then Fawn's like, you know, I gotta go. So Lucian and Joey are kind of like, you gonna leave me here with her? You gonna leave him here with me? And they had this, and then she leaves, and we have this cute little like mother-son moment where she's just like, he's like, she's basically telling him like, you need to go, but it's playful, not really like she was serious, but he was like, Mama, you know I don't got nowhere to go, please. And she's like, all right, but if you gonna stay here, you're gonna have to abide by my rules. So then he does this thing where he's like mocking her voice. He's like, I know, I have to do whatever. And she's like, what? Is that how I sound? And then so he does it again. And she's like, rule number 1, don't do that no more. Don't do that. All right. So then she's walking away. And he did it again. And then she's just like, kind of just like, shut up. All right. So, and I will tell you, this was a good episode, but I'm still upset. So then we switch to Randall. He's now at the hospital. And he's visiting Julius's father. Now they teased this, so I've seen it already in like on previews and whatnot, but this kind of gave us. So Julius's father is telling him, like, I need you to talk to my son because my son is very angry. I get it. I wasn't there for him when he was younger. Pretty much he was saying I was chasing that paper. I was building an empire. And so he's just like, I know he's mad. He was with nanny after nanny. I cheated on his mom constantly. And I know he's upset and I want to know. And he's like, I've always appreciated how you've been there for me and my family. Got us out of this case and that one. So he's and Randall's kind of like, whatever you need. Like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, I just want you to sit down and talk with him. And, you know, like fix him pretty much. And he's like, well, I'll do whatever he's going to allow me to do. Pretty much saying like, you can't really help a person unless they want it. Ironic that it's coming from Randall. So then he goes on to tell Randall, like, yo, also I'm making some changes to my will, and he ain't going to be too happy about it. All right. So Randall's still like, you know, I'll do anything, you know, just let me know. So he tells him to go see some dude, Santino, about some money. And Randall's kind of acting humble abode. And it's just like, I don't want the money. Let me just see what I could do for him first. And then if so, I'll see. So then we switch back to the police station. I'm so mad, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. Y'all don't even understand. I had such high hopes. I know you guys are kind of like, what? But I had such high hopes for Eddie and Esperanza. In the way that I did think she was sort of that light for him. You feel me? But, and I don't even want to talk to my friend about it because she gonna tell me I told you so. Because we go back and forth arguing about those two. Because she's kind of like, Jada, they not. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. Anyway. So we switch back to the police station. And we see Julius. So Esperanza's, I guess, walking up the hallway. And she sees him. So she looks up and he's like, hey, love. And she's just like, Julius, you shouldn't be here. Like, just go and everything like this. And he pretty much tells her, like, you got me shot. You can't at least just talk to me. You know, and she's like, she was like, I didn't shoot you, Julius. He said, I said, you got me shot. And now you don't even want to talk to me. And she's like, Julius, just go. And he's just like, I don't, like, you won't even give me that. You can't even speak to me right now. And he's just like, I know you don't want to talk to me, but I want to talk to you. He's like, I'm sorry. And she's just like, you know what? Your I'm sorry means absolutely nothing. I'm tired of the I'm sorries. It's beyond this. And I felt like when she was talking to him, she was talking about everything because she said, I'm done with the bad boy. I'm done with it. So I feel like that was kind of her, this is my fight song. Take back my life song. Talking to him like I'm done with Eddie too. And I couldn't be happier, to be honest, because I think that I was kind of looking at it like, don't give up on him. But at this point, the level of disrespect that Eddie is showing Esperanza is out of this freaking world, and I can't. Like, I literally can't. And I always try to be like, you know what? It's just a cry for help. And I think that it is, but still, I'm done with you. Like, go cry for help to a psychologist. Go talk to Randall. I'm done. Like, that's honestly how I would be if I was Esperanza at this point in particular time. Because, but I don't want to say I blame her. I don't blame her at all. I think that you should have stopped Eddie in his tracks, because I think Esperanza was more than capable of that. I think she should have had that sit down with Eddie a long time ago before you realize, okay, he's getting out of control. Okay, what's going on with you? Because from what we've seen, that's the only person he'll really be vulnerable with is Esperanza. But at this point, it means nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing to me. I'm over it. For me, and then even then, it's, oh, I don't want to get, anyway. So he's like, I'm sorry. And she's just like, like I said, take back my life song. I'm done with the bad boy. You ain't gonna be doing this to me. I'm done. And so she's kind of crying. She's just like, just go. And he's like, I think, I have some stuff that you want to know about Eddie. And no, matter of fact, that was before. He goes, I think might have some stuff you want to know about Eddie. And she's like, I don't want to know nothing. I'm done. You ain't got no information from me. I'm over you. And then it even came up because he said something, well, I heard an officer was down. I wanted to see if it was our friend. And she was like, was it you? And he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, the shooting, was it you? And he was like, no, I like to call it karma. That's exactly how he said, karma. Instead of just saying karma, but you gotta appreciate it. And she was like, and he goes, you reap what you sow and whatever. Then after she takes back her life song, with I'm done with the bad boy, he goes, well, that's not entirely true, because you're sleeping with the dirty cop. And here's what I don't understand, everybody, because somebody explained this to me. Have Esperanza and Eddie been creeping on the low and I've been oblivious to it? Because this is like the third time that this has came up, and she doesn't combat it. Like, she'll kind of just stand there like, oh my gosh, like, how did they find out? Like, I'm like, girl, what? Like, oh my gosh, I don't know, oh my god. I can't, y'all. Oh my gosh. Alright. So, he's like, you don't understand. Like, he goes, where's your dignity? He got a woman at your house right now. And at first, I'm like, he's just doing that to be a jerk. But what they teased for next week, no. And he was dead serious when he was saying it too. I was like, wow, Eddie really got a chick at her house right now. Like, real talk. You feel me? So he's like, he got somebody at your house right now. He's like, where's your dignity? And you don't even know he out here. He's stealing from my lowest marketed drug dealers too. He kind of like a rat. It's actually pretty pathetic. He's like, my dad could be working with dudes in the millions, with people in the millions, and he got me out here working with these slum people, and this, that, and the third. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. So she's just like, just get out. And he tries calling her like babe or baby, or he's like, come on, baby, you know I miss you. And that's not exactly what he said. I'm not gonna say it. I miss your sweet behind. He said something like this. And she's like, you will never touch me again. You understand that? Do you understand that? You know what I mean? So he leaves. And then Esperanza kind of follows in that same direction, but they're not going the same place. And she's crying. And I'm just like, gosh, dang. Because she, I think, was kind of, I don't know if she was where I was, because I definitely felt like she'd given up on Eddie, which I ain't mad at. But it was when he was telling her these things, she's like, I don't want to hear this from you. I don't want to hear this from you. Like, you know, I kind of want Eddie to be honest about it. And what they oh my gosh, I can't, y'all. I can't, because I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Okay, so then we switch to Marcy. She's in the bedroom. She's looking out the window, and she sees Rusty. So Miss Louise is coming up the stairs. She's like, what are you looking at? She goes, you know, just Alex's dad, you know, the racist. And she's like, what? And she's like, oh yeah, he's like backwards racist. Like, come on now, dude. So then we have Miss Louise is coming down the stairs, and Randall kind of trying to creep out with all the gifts and everything and go next door. Miss Louise is telling him, you're not going next door. You feel me? It's done and over with. You're not going. All right. He's like, Mom, please. He's like, I'm a grown man. I'm going to. And she's like, no, you're not. So then Marcy's coming down the stairs. She's like, you know what? Just, he can't. No, she goes, are you hearing a word I'm saying? Like, that's what she says to Randall before Marcy comes down. So Marcy comes down the stairs, and she's just like, no, he can't hear a word you're saying. He's blinded by anger, just like I was. And so she's still kind of, Miss Louise is still kind of trying to talk to him. He not listening. So Marcy's going, you know, you're wasting your breath, just like I did. And he said, where exactly were you wasting your breath? When you were with Brad? So she's silent. So he goes, oh, wait a minute. No snappy comeback? What was it, everybody? I want to find it. Then when she goes, I was wasting my breath when I said I love you. So he goes, oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. He goes, see, but why is it that when we all used to go on double dates pretty much, no. He says, but you didn't love me enough not to go out there in that backyard with that man. As if he is completely innocent. So anyways, then he goes, he's like, wait a minute though, but you used to tell me that some things that you couldn't stand about Brad, his sweating, his hair, you know, just how he would look and this, that. And he's like, did you just get over it or get under it? Or I'm telling you, Randall and Eddie are going to be the death of me for this show. And I'm so serious. I can't, y'all, I was almost crying. Like oh my gosh, I can't. So Marcy clapping back at him. And she's just like, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I'm divorced. I'm done with you. You know, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be happy. I can't do this no more. And so she's just telling him, she goes, I'm not going to let you take the best years of my life. And that's what I'd be doing if I stuck with you. And she's like, trust me, these are the best years of my life. These are that. So he literally starts clapping. Oh my gosh. So then he's like, you must have been watching Fix My Life. That was good. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. So then he goes, but it's too bad you don't have enough money to leave. And she goes, you tried to make sure of that, didn't you? When you were charging on my credit cards, things like, he's like, well, guilty as charged. So she's like, oh, matter of fact, and starts throwing the cards at him, And she's just like, that was like, I'm done. Like, that was it. So the cards are on the floor. He starts picking up. He was like, I'm going to need food and diapers and toys. So thank you so much. This will help a lot. Good idea. So then she goes, rub it in. And he's like, didn't Brad do that? So she's just like, I'm done. She leaves. She's getting in the car. He's coming outside. He's like, wait a minute, honey. Do you want to see the baby? Do you want to see the clothes? I got some nice little toys for the baby. He's like, come on, it's me and Alex's baby. And then we see Rusty. And that's where the episode ended. After Randall shouted out, come on, don't you want to see me and Alex's baby? Rusty looks over at him and is like, boy, what did you just say? Oh my gosh. Next week is really about to be on some stuff. I'm serious. Yeah, everybody. So that was the episode. I'm upset. I'm mad. Um, I'm mad, y'all. I really can't, dude. I really can't. I'm telling y'all, for real, I have to see like how this season is gonna go for me because I don't know if I can handle it. I'm so serious. Next week, I already know I'm gonna be in cardiac arrest. Just with that Eddie scene alone, just with that alone, like that, you had that level of disrespect. Really? Re- I'm tweeting Tyler. I'm tweeting Tyler. Because even the thought of it, everybody is really getting on my nerve. Then I think next week we're also going to have Julius is going to be coming over to Randall's house. And they're going to be consulting about, I guess he's like, so my father wants you to see me because he thinks I'm crazy. Julius is crazy. All right. But so was Eddie, Randall. Oh my gosh. I know I'm gonna be up all night, y'all, because I'm so mad. I'm so mad just about this week, and then oh my gosh, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna end it right there, y'all. Thanks for watching. It's your girl Jada J. Peace.